This tutorial is for lesson 27H, and this is going to be drawing the paperclip. As you can see, I've already drawn the paperclip in model space. I've got it all in the object layer. I followed the dimensions. This is what the book is telling us to do. It says open my decimal setup, which I basically use lesson 26E as my reference. That way all of my layers, my dimension style, my paper space is already set up. Everything is good to go. So again, I started with 26E. I went to File, Save As, and I saved it as 27H. Then I went ahead and drew the paperclip to the proper dimensions. And now I am ready to transfer this over to Paperspace. So as you can see, here's my Paperspace right here. As you know by now, you're going to need the Properties window out. I'm going to go ahead and double-click in Paperspace. And currently, I'm on some sort of custom scale. And I can just tell you that what I've done is I've just double-clicked the wheel or done what's called zoom extents. Looks like they want the viewport to be a little bit smaller than what it is currently, so I'm going to go ahead and move this guy up. I'm going to go ahead and go back to Paperspace. I'm going to grab this grip here, and I'm going to bring it up to, oh, I don't know. I need to turn snap off because it's about ready to snap on me. Maybe about there or so. And now when I come in here, and I may have to make that a little bit bigger. We'll see right now because according to the book, they want this to be on an 8:1 scale. So I'm in model space currently. It says custom scale here. What I like to do is double click the wheel so it centers it and then change it to the scale that I need. 8:1 is available. So I go ahead and hit 8:1 and it looks like that is going to fit beautifully. So I'm going to go ahead and leave mine like that. I think my viewport is a good size. I'm going to double click outside of model space out here in Paperspace. And so that will be locked and that will be in the proper scale that it needs to be. It looks like the other things I need to do is I need to cut another viewport. So here we go. Here's viewport down here on my View Tiles toolbar. If you don't remember, this is your View Tiles toolbar. And here's mine down over here. I'm going to go ahead and just go to Single Tile. And I'm going to cut one down over here. And there is the viewport right there. You can see my viewport is currently on the object layer, and I don't want that to be on the object layer. I want that to be on the viewport layer, so I'm going to go ahead and change that now. And now I'm going to go ahead and double click inside of here, and they want this to be actual size. So this one should not be on custom scale. It should be on 1:1, and that looks like it's probably a good size. And I can double click outside of that, and there is the actual size one right there. And so all I need to do from here on out is dimension it and fill up my title block properly, and it should be pretty much all done. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and probably talk a lot less and finish this up. And so here we go. Dimensions, and again I'm dimensioning mine in Paperspace, so I'm going to turn on my dimension layer. And I'm going to do quite a few different radius dimensions here. Okay. Now we need to do some linear dimensions. I'll turn eSnap back on. And you can see that mine is only going to 2 decimal places where the book's is going to 3. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my dimension styles and make mine look like theirs. And I can go to linear dimension, and you can see I've only got 2 zeros. I'm going to change that to 3 zeros. Go ahead and click apply. Same thing with my radius and diameter dimensions. So I'm going to go ahead and go back in here. And there was another thing that I noticed too under linear dimension. Is hide leading zeros. Their 0 is not showing in front of their dimension. So mine has 0.060 and the book just has 0.060. So I'm going to go ahead and hide my leading 0 and click apply. I'm going to now go to the diameter and do the same thing, 3 zeros, and hide my leading 0 and click apply. And now I'm going to go to class style radius and do the exact same thing, 3 zeros, and hide leading zeros and click apply. and now it should all look like the book. So there we go, that's good to go. Looks like that side is pretty much done. Now we'll do a couple linear dimensions from here to the end point. And then I can use baseline. Not sure how that came out as 8. Let's go ahead and do linear dimension. That will be 1.25. And then we need to do another linear dimension from here. There will be 0.190. And then we can do from, that should be 0.30. And I think that is about it for all of the dimensions. So 0.090, radius of 1.150, 0.30, 0.190, 1, and 1.25. 0.060 and radius of 0.120. So that should be all of the dimensions that we need. I just want to make sure that these I can easily see and bring them to places that make them where they are easiest to read. So something like that. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up a little bit higher. I can bring this up a little bit higher, and I can bring this up a little bit higher. So something like that. Make sure it's all nice and easy to read. So I'm done dimensioning that top space, and again, remember I dimension those in PaperSpace. Then it asks me to do notes, and I believe it tells me to do notes in 1/8 inch height. So I'm going to go ahead and use Simple Note. I think it's easiest to do that. And I'm going to use class text, and it tells me it wants the height to be 1/8 of an inch, which is 0.125, which will be perfect. So here we go. Actually, I'm going to change this. I'm going to use Note instead of Simple Note, and I'm going to do it right there, because that way I'll be able to underline and whatnot. So currently it's on 0.125. 0.12, and we'll turn okay, now we just need to make whatever edits we need to. So it looks like this is underlined up here. So we can go ahead and underline that, which I would not have been able to do in Simple Note. So that's one of the reasons why I changed that. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And there that is right there. And now I can take that and move that if I need to and put that in a different spot. Ortho's on, so if I want to put this over here, I can go ahead and put that over there. Place this text in PaperSpace 0.20 height. This one I would probably use Simple Note and just do 0.2. And the Simple Note is actual size in all caps. Okay. And we'll put this right there. And I think the last thing that I need to do is go ahead and fill out my title block properly. So it currently says My Decimal Setup. I can just double click on that and get rid of My Decimal Setup and type in PaperClip. And they don't use all caps, so I won't use all caps. Click OK. What else? That's my name, the date. I'll go ahead and leave the date. The scale is 8:1. So I'm going to go ahead and do just like they did, 8 space colon space 1. Click OK. So it's 8 times as big. And then this is exercise 27H. 27H. Click OK. And that would be it right there. And so what we're going to do from here is we are actually going to print this out. So I would go ahead and go to File, Print. And up comes my 17 by 11. If yours did not come up that way, make sure you go ahead and change that. Use the HP 110. We're going to use our ANSI B size. And again, my computer's having this issue again where I have to kind of click on one of these and in order to let it expand, and there we go. Remember, we do want it on sheet, 1:1 scale, landscape. We're going to check additional options and make sure it's on monochrome, which it is. Click OK. And last but not least, we're going to preview the drawing, and this is what it's going to look like. So, if you didn't like the placement of where the notes are, or you want to move the actual size kind of up and over here, you can most certainly do so and make whatever changes that you feel are necessary to the drawing. But as you can see, all of the dimensions are there that are necessary. The paperclip is there. You may even want to add another note that says that this is 8:1 scale. Some people do that on their drawings, but it does say that down here in the title block as well. So that is pretty much it, and that is 27H. Go ahead and print that out, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.